Welcome to Busted Speakers. I'm Kush.
And I'm Alexio Herendara, the J-pop master. Oh, it's K-pop, isn't it? Oh,
Yeah.
this is a really bad... I don't even know what I was trying to do there.
You tried, Alex.
I tried to put a spin on it, but failed completely.
Okay, so we're going to be reviewing Palette by IU. So IU is a K-pop musician, and my scope in K-pop is about as it goes to like Gangnam Style, and that's about it. I've just never really had a reason to get into K-pop, and maybe it's because I don't have much experience with K-pop, but I enjoyed the hell out of this album.
Oh, I actually didn't expect that for some reason, and I've no reason not to think you wouldn't enjoy it, but that's surprising to me. I'm a little bit more attuned to pop music from Japan/Korea because they get blended together because it's quite similar. And I just saw IU. She has considerable amount of hype, considering you could call a lot of it similar. But no expectations going into this. I thought it was pretty good, I'd say. Yeah. So I just have one slight negative to note about the whole thing. Okay, so did you notice that IU did quite a lot of like backing vocals herself?
Yeah, I noticed that. Like, she had those layered vocals that sounded okay in some. It sounded good in some songs, but in other songs it just kind of was a bit annoying.
It's not even that. It's just, well, it was a little bit annoying, but I'm used to that, like being over the top. But it was just that they were like mixed almost as loudly as her lead vocals on some of these songs, which is not what backing vocals are for. They're for in the background to complement lead vocals. So in that sense, they like obscure some instruments, and that's where the problems begin. But other than that, I didn't have a problem with like the main sound. But I just had to say, since this is like your first K-pop album, did you not note that it was a little bit weird how so many of the songs were like slow ballad, piano ballads?
Yeah, I noticed that, and I was like, and I actually I enjoyed the fact that they were slow ballads and there's some piano ballads and such.
Yeah.
I thought that really exemplified her voice, because I think she has a very unique and very powerful voice. Something I noticed throughout the album is that she commands so much attention and she gets loud without getting like ear-piercingly loud. I know a lot of other musicians, when they get like loud and get passionate, their vocals can be a bit of a pain at some points. But she gets loud, but she still feels really gentle at the same time. And I think that's what really just drew me to her performance on this album.
So my favourite song was Jam Jam, which is definitely the most upbeat sounding song. And the only one that was like the K-pop I was expecting, because some of this has like R&B type vibes. And Jam Jam was probably... Jam. Yeah, it was this is the only song I heard before listening to this. And it still kept in with a general chilled vibe. And she like sounded a little bit like Ariana Grande on some of this, who also has quite an underrated vocal talent that sometimes doesn't get seen. I quite like her music, and she's actually like the exact same age as Ariana Grande. Is she the Korean version? Who knows? But yeah, I really liked Jam Jam. It was really funky and fun. Damn good song.
My favorite song on here had to be either the first one, I don't know how to say that at all, don't ask me, or the song Through the Night.
Right.
I like Through the Night because she had such gorgeous vocal on top of an acoustic guitar, and I was expecting just an acoustic guitar the whole time. But about halfway through, she gets a bit louder, she gets more passionate, and there's a choir effect in the back, which I was just mesmerized by, because I think that's one of the better songs to exemplify her backing vocals in.
For some reason, that was like one of my lesser favourites, because I found it kind of too boring and sparse. Although I have to say, compulsory speaking, every song on here is at least really pretty and sounds really nice. So I do think that, and I did think the acoustic guitars added something. It's just, these are piano ballads. It'd help if I actually knew what she was singing about, like, as a ballad.
Yeah. That was my biggest complaint, is that, like, but that's not, like, I can't, like, complain. I can't, like, knock the album from me not understanding Korean, so...
That's true. It's our fault. Well, if it is anyone's fault, it's ours. It's not hers. But I just didn't think Through the Night had that much substance from my point of view. Although her vocals were decent. And what did you think of the first song? Another favorite of yours?
Oh, so that song, I loved how she had almost like an old school vibe going on.
Yeah.
I was smiling like a goof because I didn't expect that. I expected like, generic K-pop music, though, like the little that I've heard, I was expecting that. This reminded me of the Foxygen album, which I love so much because it had that old school tinge to it. And this song had me dancing, and she had a great voice, and it was really fun.
Imagining you dancing to this is making me smile. So yeah, I love the bouncy piano line, and this does what every single K-pop song does, just about, which has like weird random English words, like it says now and whatever. But I don't see the point in that.
Well,
It doesn't actually add anything to the song.
I mean, for all we know, it doesn't add, because we don't understand the Korean portions of it, though.
But they're different languages. I mean, maybe they're words that every Korean person knows, but I don't know. But the thing I liked most about that song was it had a piano solo, which is extremely rare in all genres apart from jazz. Like, think about it. You get a lot of keyboard solos in, like, progressive rock, but you don't get just piano solos unless it's, like, jazz. So that was quite interesting, I had to say.
I think one thing that might have been different, because a lot of these were more somber, like, slow songs and chilling songs. I think the circumstance in which I listened to it, because I think I was having, like, a bit of anxiety problems the day before I was listening to this album.
Right.
So I think, or, like, throughout the day and then I put this album on, I think maybe that helped me listen to it or understand it more, or like calm me down in some sense, because I felt some sort of connection to the more somber songs on here. That's why maybe I like those more than like the song Blackout, which was probably my least favorite on this album.
Yeah.
But I don't know, maybe
song,
I think circumstance is a big deal when it comes to listen to an album.
It is, but I generally speaking just go into an album neutral minded, not through any fault of anyone else, but I just, for some reason, I'm always in a neutral mindset. Like, almost none of the albums we've covered have, like, severely made me more happy or sad than I was before. It was just kept generally the same via the quality of the music. Anyway, I want to talk about Can't Love You Anymore, just because I can't wait to pronounce the feature guy's name. Oh, yuck. Now, this is a R&B jam, and I think Ooh Yuck provides some nice vocals. Even though he's a bit like a Jason Mraz, Jack Johnson type of guy. I just thought that was a quite nice, like, duet. Like, R&B sort of thing. Like, this is weird. This is like R&B. I'm not saying K-pop can't be R&B, but I thought it was quite weird, but worked quite well.
I had the same problem with the feature name. To me, I said it, oh, yuck. But I think you say it the other way around, so it should be yuck-o.
Oh, I sound like a complete moron.
No, well, no, because I called him oh yuck throughout all my notes.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize, but then when I saw it on RYM, it was said the other way around, so
That's
I don't know.
weird, that, because it's the same with Japanese names, like Shina Ringo. She's known as Ringo Shina, and she's a famous J-pop artist, like almost on the same level as like Beyonce in Japan. But yeah, I don't get what's the point of. This is more a complaint with the language, but why? If it is the other way around, why wouldn't they just write it that way? You know what I mean?
You should call Spotify and ask them.
It's not Spotify; it's the whole Korean English dictionary. Oh, anyway.
Yeah, that song was gorgeous. It had such a soulful and commanding voice, and it was like a really groovy song. Like you can just put headphones on and just like kind of get lost in that song.
Yeah, I got lost in that song, definitely. I had to find my way out.
It was like a modern R&B song, which I really enjoyed.
Yeah. My favorite. Okay, the piano ballads. They all sound nice, but they two of them sounded almost exactly the same, and I played them back to back, and I did notice some slight differences. But honestly, they may as well be the same song, and I sound really, really like shallow-minded for saying that. You know, it's what people say when they hear metal, and it all sounds the same. But Ended Scene and Full Stop may as well be the same song to me, just because they're both the same slow piano ballad, extremely similar setup. Especially since I don't understand the lyrics, and it has the exact same elements. Nice vocals, piano, and orchestrations. But from my, I'll have to say, noob standpoint, they may as well be the same song. Thankfully, it's a nice song, but I just had to note that.
I think a lot of that comes down to like us not understanding the actual lyrics of what they're saying.
Yeah, like if these were Adele songs and a Korean person was listening to them, maybe they'd have the same reaction. Not say,
Yeah.
I will say IU is better than Adele. Just saying.
I will agree with that. I will agree
Okay,
with
my
that.
favorite. Yeah, I don't think that was too hard to say. But Dear Name is probably my favorite piano one. There's no reason why it is better than the other ones, other than it has some real build up. And maybe it's just the orchestrations, but it's a really good closing. It had some like power ballad 80s styling a little bit. I don't know, that was my favourite of the piano ballads. I thought it ended the album really well.
Yeah. I just really enjoy like the diversity of songs on this album. Because
Yeah,
you get a little
K-pop,
bit of everything.
R&B, piano ballad. That's three very different styles.
I mean, there's also a rap bit by G-Dragon on the self-title or on the album name.
Palette. Yeah, he sounded. What was weird to me, G Dragon, he sounded exactly like G Easy. Are they like the Korean versions of each other? Or actually, no,
I don't know. I've never.
He'd be Dragon G if it's like the name around.
Who knows? But like, yeah, I listened to a little bit of Korean pop or Korean rap. Sorry. From
Alright.
like Keith Ape or like some people like that. I actually kind of liked it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the hell he's saying, but it sounded good. His flow was really nice, so I was impressed by that too.
There's a really, really weird lyric on this, and this is the only time we can talk about the lyrics, because obviously the few English parts we are oversensitized to, because that's the only part we can understand. On Palette, she says, I like this, I'm 25, I got this, I'm truly fine. I mean, she's 23, and those are kind of lazy. I don't know, I just don't get it. What? It's just
I
not
didn't even catch
true.
those lyrics.
It's not true. I don't know how that could get so lost in translation. Maybe that's like her talking about G Dragon. Maybe he's 25, but she's 23. It's not true.
I have no clue. I didn't catch those lyrics at all, so I'm at a loss for words right now.
It just felt like Ariana Grande featuring G Easy through the Korean mirror of pop.
Well, what would you rate this album, Alex?
I'm gonna give it 7 out of 10. Some really fun songs, some really R&B smooth songs, and some pretty nice sounding. Really, I mean, even if they don't latch out to me, they're all really nice sounding piano ballads. Quite a lot of variety for a K-pop album. Like, this feels like a K-pop artist who's usually over the top, trying to be serious. Like, this sounds like her trying to make a serious music album instead of something novelty, and it definitely is not a novelty. This is a really good, mature actually pop album, I'd say.
Yeah, so for me, maybe I just enjoyed those piano ballads more than you. I think the piano ballads really pushed this from a 7 to an 8 for me, so it's an 8 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
I really enjoy those piano ballads, and on repeated listens, I think I still enjoyed them more just because the initial exposure was just so positive for me. But even the songs that weren't the more somber songs, she had a really good tone, a great voice, great production behind it. And the only song that I didn't really enjoy was Blackout, which is a bit more generic, and the chorus wasn't that great, but it still had some decent aspects of the song, and where I can't knock it. I still enjoyed that song thoroughly.
Yeah. As far as K-pop goes, it's definitely opened my eyes that there could be a lot more variety than the general idea. Like, this is way better than, like, Psy, I guess.
Yeah, for me, I think especially, like, just my limited exposure also helped me enjoy this album more, but that could be fair. I'm not really sure. It seems like most people are enjoying this album at least.
Yeah, and so that's better than Adele and Psy. What more could you ask for?
Well, if that's it, then thanks for tuning to Busted Speakers. Let us know what you think about this album in the comments below. Let us know what else you want us to review, and check us out on social media.